So yesterday we had a pretty big surprise, and it's not a typical thing for me to be overly excited for Marvel movies, really since Endgame, although we did have Spider-Man No Way Home, and I know that's not necessarily Avengers related and stuff, still Sony involved with that alongside of Disney and Marvel, but still, it was exciting to see that. I even did videos on it here, actually, on this channel, but now something has happened that has pulled me back in. I think it's pulled back in many people out there, and was it the easy way out technically for Marvel and Disney and stuff? Yes, it absolutely is. But you know what? I don't really care, because I'm very interested now that Robert Downey Jr. was revealed to be Doctor Doom in 2 Avengers movies coming up, and we're going to go over that here today. So if you guys enjoy the video, hit that like button, subscribe if you're new. This all went down at San Diego Comicon Saturday. It was like Saturday evening for me, so I guess over there it was like the afternoon. But either way, it was like, kind of like their big, almost finale kind of event, big Marvel panel and stuff. We had the unveiling of some of the movies and dates and stuff. Well, some of the release years and months for it coming up here. And yes, we do have 2 Avengers movies to look forward to. The Russo brothers are being brought back in for these Avengers movies. And again, I just haven't been that interested necessarily since Endgame for like the big Marvel movies. We typically would get, I mean, what was like a decade or so of movies kind of planting the seeds with all different characters that would then come together for the Avengers. And then we had like 2-part movies. It was a lot, but the payoff was awesome. And if you went to the movie theater at the time with Endgame, you know what I'm talking about. The crowd, what was like incredibly hot for the movies and all the events, everything that went on. But now, as I mentioned, we have 2 new Avengers movies to look forward to. Avengers Doomsday, that's May 2026. And then Avengers Secret Wars, that's May 2027. And the Russo brothers talked about Secret Wars for a while, about how they really want to do that like storyline and stuff. And now that we've seen the multiverse, all the different universes and stuff really opened up in the MCU, it does make things, I think, a bit more approachable. Especially when you see Robert Downey Jr. appear on stage, unveiling himself as the new Doctor Doom. And this is something that, yes, as I mentioned, it's technically the easy way out. The easy thing to do here for Marvel is to bring back one of the 2 characters, one of the 2 actors that we all look at and go, okay, that was that legendary run from like Iron Man to Endgame. You had Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans, right? So Iron Man, Captain America. And ever since they've kind of left and worked their way out of the picture, hasn't been that interesting to me, or at least me, and I'm sure many other people out there. Hence, Robert Downey Jr. coming back, but as Doctor Doom. And this is the thing that it's great marketing, because clearly everyone is talking about this. And we're talking about tens of millions of views right now across social media, comments all over the place, trying to figure out multiple things here. One, is this a variant of Tony Stark, maybe in a different universe, as I mentioned, the multiverse really being opened up here. Is that possible? The different timeline? We have Tony Stark, who maybe turned out a bit differently in his path when it comes to all the scientific breakthroughs he had, and then he's evil rather than good, right? And he turns out as Doctor Doom. Is it possible that they bring him in to just play a whole different character? And it's like, oh yeah, this is Tony Stark, as you know, you've known him for this long, Robert Downey Jr., but we're just going to make him Doctor Doom instead. No one's going to say anything about it. That, to me, seems weird. Like, then it definitely feels shoehorned in. I kind of feel like there has to be some sort of recognition that, oh yeah, you did play Tony Stark for a long time in the MCU, like a decade plus, and that's what everyone is going to see you as. So, to me, that is the way to go, but they did introduce him as just Doctor Doom. He said new mask, same task. Like, hey, yeah, new character, but it's still the same task here, which is to create these epic moments, especially as the big payoff, as we're seeing with Secret Wars, which there's a lot of hype around that, too, to really bring that to the big screen. And the Russo brothers returning and stuff. So all this sort of coming together as, okay, what are they doing here, and how are they going to be able to top Infinity War? Which, seeing this, I'm very curious for how they approach this, because look, Robert Downey Jr. played Iron Man for so long. This might be exciting to him. This could be kind of like rejuvenate him as, oh, I get to play really a bad guy, but like a completely different kind of character. So yes, the idea of we'll say a newly motivated Robert Downey Jr. in the Marvel Cinematic Universe could give us some really, really cool moments here coming up in these two movies. And the fact that they are coming out, so May 2026, is not that far away. It's a little over a year and a half. And then it's just the following year, we'll have Secret Wars come out, which that should be a massive, massive moment there, that movie. So it's nice to hear that it's not that far off. And the fact that we are getting this reveal does make me wonder if we're going to have him maybe show up as like a post-credit Easter egg sort of thing in one of the other upcoming Marvel movies, just to sort of start setting things up, which that alone would probably spike ticket sales of whatever movie that happens in. So they could obviously play off of that too. But yes, bottom line, this is a way for them to draw interest back to the MCU, bring in Robert Downey Jr. And I also wonder if like Chris Evans, they maybe pull him back in as well in some way. So there's still a lot of questions, but it is very exciting. So for me, as I know there are people out there who are annoyed by this because I don't really understand how this is really going to work out, and it feels like them breaking the glass, like the emergency glass. Okay, we got to get Robert Downey Jr. back, so let's just do whatever we have to make sure he can re-enter the MCU. I understand that does kind of break the magic, sort of the cinematic veil, if you will, but it's cool. I'm looking forward to it. So, but let me know what you guys think about this, especially. What's your best theory on how they are going to work him back in? Is he going to be a variant of Tony Stark from another universe where things didn't go so well for him in his life and now he's Doctor Doom? Or is he just going to show up and be like, yeah, I'm Doctor Doom now. Never played anyone else in the MCU ever. Thanks, guys, for watching, and I'll see you next time.